Francine, it is amazing to see how Davos really transforms. A week ago, this was just a sleepy ski resort. Today, as you know, it is a circus. Security is out in full effect. We call it Fortress Davos. Nearly 3,000 members of the Swiss Army are here protecting all of us. In total, 10,000 people come into town. Normally, the population is only 11,000. But of course, Francine, they come bearing plenty of cash. So I went on a tour all around town to see how it gets spent. The World Economic Forum in Davos is an exclusive gathering and one that costs more than $25 million to throw. So where does all that cash go and what impact does it have on this tiny Swiss resort? Well, today I'm going to follow the money to find out. My first stop, the mayor. So how much money does the WEF bring into the town of Davos?
More than 40 millions of Swiss francs.
And how much do you spend to host it?
So we spent 1 million Swiss francs, but only for security.
In total, the forum means a $74 million boost for the Swiss economy. The lion's share ends up with businesses in town. The biggest moneymaker, hospitality. This is by far the most profitable week of the year. Many hotels do 1/3 of their annual business. Well, the WEF, of course, helps generate tourism and floods the town with VIPs, 2,500 to be exact. But not everybody here in Davos gets too excited about it, because prices for ordinary things like taxis and restaurants simply go through the roof. For example, one popular 4-star hotel in town charges double or triple their normal rates. Now, for some in town, believe it or not, their best bet is simply to close up shop. This store behind me, as you can see, normally sells furniture, but during the week of the WEF, they can make more money by renting the space out. Up here on the slopes, though, it's a different story. This restaurant over here had no business during the WEF last year. And for ski school, it's clearly the low season, too. I went up the mountain with Daniel Amon, the top ski instructor on the slopes. How is business during the WEF?
Business during the WEF actually is kind of slow. So it means that in terms of the volume of the ski instructor, where we have at the Christmas, it's like 7 to 8 times less instructor working at this week.
So who actually makes it out on the slopes during Davos?
Celebrities, politicians. I mean, you really have the chance to meet very interesting people you usually know from TV or from the papers.
So while businesses down in the village might be raking it in, things are a bit slower up here on the mountain. But certainly one thing everyone agrees on, the forum has put this ski resort on the map. Olivia Sterns, Bloomberg, Davos. And you know, Francine, I said the biggest moneymaker is hospitality. Well, just to give you one more fun fact, you know the Belvedere Hotel, the big 5-star in town? Yep. They told me they sell about 1,000 bottles of champagne during this week. That's more than 3 times their next busiest week, which is over Christmas and New Year's.
That's amazing, and I'm absolutely fascinated by sponsorship, because if you come a week before the WEF, you have a big pet shop, then that gets transformed to this Barclays Bank just by putting stickers. We also have celebrities here.
Yes, we do.
This year, Charlize Theron, and you caught up with her last night.
Yeah, Charlize Theron, the South African actress, is in town. She actually received an award last night at the opening ceremony. She's in town to promote her work in the fight against HIV and AIDS, and I caught up with her at the Belvedere Hotel, and I asked her why she chose to come here to Davos to promote her cause.
I think that there's a lot of brain power in here. I can only learn from it. And that's really, I think, probably, I'm hoping the best thing I can walk away with is to ask as many questions as I possibly can, to talk a little bit about my foundation and how much I believe in prevention care, how much I believe in the Global Fund, and how important that is to succeed in what I think we all want to do, which is to be the generation that defeats this disease.
And Davos is the place to shed a global spotlight.
Yeah, it's great. It's a great stage to do that.
Our whole crew was so excited about that. But the World Economic Forum has a funny old relationship with celebrities, because in previous years we've had Sharon Stone, we had Angelina Jolie with Brad Pitt, and it seems that a year they welcome it and then a year they say, guys, you know, we are a serious organization, we don't want too much glitz and glamour.
Yeah, exactly. They want to try to balance out this idea that this is this playground for the rich and powerful, but it can also be a very powerful platform for philanthropy. And so that's what Angelina Jolie was doing here, that's what the likes of Bono was doing here, and that's what
what Charlize Theron is doing here. And it was interesting, she actually co-hosted an event last night with the Prime Minister of Zimbabwe, Morgan Tsvangirai, later on this week. She's hosting a conference with Bill Gates, so hopefully we'll be at that, bringing you more updates from it live.
Yeah, it'll be great. I can't wait. I remember Sharon Stone showing up here 2 years ago and literally saying, you know, if you want a date with me for a night, you have to pay $3 million going to charity.
It's so hard to get one of our cameramen to agree to come with us on these events.
I know.